Well, hello there, everybody. I hope you've all had a wonderful work week. So who is your predicted Super Bowl winner? The Chiefs? The 49ers? The 40-plus brands? Yeah, that number is right. 40-plus brands that will be advertising during the game? How about Taylor Swift? Yeah, that one's a no-brainer. Usher, maybe? Joe Biden? Nah, I'm not even going there. Who will be the big winner? One thing is for sure, the 40 or more brands will be making big 30-second bets on creative ideas. They're hoping that it will turn into big return on investment. But what does that mean for the rest of us marketers? I mean, is it all just a spectator sport for us to, Monday morning quarterback next week where we all go, what a waste of money it all was? Well, the answer? Maybe. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But maybe there's something just a little bit more. You want to know more? Well, this is a few minutes of what's new that might help you lead your marketing strategy. Let's get this thing kicked off and let's roll. Hello, everybody. Robert Rose here with What's New in Marketing. It is What's New in Marketing, but more importantly, it's something important in marketing that we think may help you become a better marketer. And if we can help you or your team with custom training, consultation, ongoing implementation of your content or marketing approach, I'll just get on to contentmarketinginstitute.com and let us know. So it is the big weekend, of course, and it's the big game, the superb owl of football games, as it were. And yeah, things are going to be hopping in Las Vegas over the weekend. Over the years, of course, the weekend itself has become more of a marketing conference than it is really a championship of the National Football League. I mean, there's now an entire week devoted to events and expos of featuring sponsorships, marketing, content-driven experiences, from opening night on Monday, yeah, that's right, on Monday, to the Soulful Celebration concert, to the kickoff events, the meet and greets, the merchandising events, the physical experiences like competing with athletes with virtual sort of games. Well, it just goes on and on and on. It really is probably better named Football Con than it is really the Super Bowl. But of course, other than the game itself, most eyes will be on the big bets that the 40-plus brands will be putting forth this year in their 30-second commercial breaks. Now, the average cost of a 30-second advertisement this year is $7 million. That's more than $230,000 per second of airtime. And of course, that doesn't include the production cost of actually making these big ideas come to life. So other than gawking in the snarky reviews and talk about what a waste of money it all is, what are we mere mortals doing about this? I mean, the mere mortals with yearly marketing budgets that in many cases come out to, a few seconds of Super Bowl time. Well, I think this brings up two important questions that we should ponder, especially for those of us in B2B marketing. The first is, what are the big bets in B2B? I mean, we really seem to have stopped making them. You see, make no mistake about it, at $7 million for 30 seconds of airtime, these are still big bets by even the biggest B2C brands. From a budget and creativity risk standpoint, the Super Bowl is one of the last standing elements of where big creative marketing still thrives. And these campaigns survive, if they survive, the snarky Monday morning analysis. Many of them will go on to be anchor creative and risky ideas for the remainder of the year. But over the last few years, what I've noticed is that B2B has really pulled into a bit of a creative shell. Where are the big, groundbreaking creative risks in B2B? Not necessarily Super Bowl ads, but just big, risky, cool, interesting ideas. When was the last time we really saw something that had the same kind of creative impact in B2B as one of these Super Bowl commercials? Where is the epic split of Von Damme and Volvo promoting the precision of trucks to businesses? Where is the end of software campaign that Salesforce promoted 25 years ago, throwing a shot across the bow of Siebel and Oracle and other installed software providers saying the cloud can't be stopped? Speaking of software, where's the next inbound marketing campaign, the disruptive content marketing initiative that HubSpot originated so many years ago? Today, it seems that the whole of B2B marketing has the monotony of data-driven averages, where incremental improvements in SEO and organic and LinkedIn posts and search engine advertising and the weekly blog posts and the quarterly research outlook, the white paper, they're all created to drive simple, average efficiency. Yes, there are podcasts. Yes, there are videos. But where are the ones that aren't interview shows about what customers are doing? Yes, there is thought leadership, but they're all frequently asked questions rather than rarely given answers. Put really simply, we focus so hard on what our personas are looking for that we've forgotten maybe to ask what might actually delight them. That brings me to my second thing for us, just as to think about this weekend. I want to assign you some homework this weekend as you watch the big game and or the commercials themselves. I'd like you to pay attention to how many of them won't actually connect their 30 seconds of make it rain money to an owned media experience where people can go sign up, participate, engage, or otherwise continue the journey that they set forward. In other words, how many will feature a URL or a QR code or something that goes beyond a simple dead end and actually invite the audience to continue the journey beyond the game? Or if it's easier, quite frankly, and I suspect it will be, just pay attention to those that do, because there will be few of them. This is the other lesson that we can learn as B2B marketers, which is asking ourselves currently, with our current experiences, how are we connecting all of our owned media experiences? Our blog to our resource center, our webinar hub to the thought leadership event, our customer service event to our wonderful blog. And even after listening and looking at all of those experiences, how many databases of audiences do we have? How many elements of first-party data are we capturing in duplicate? And how might we start combining these into one audience insight idea? Anyway, the big Super Bowl is a great reminder that making big bets in marketing, it's still a thing. And it's something we can lose really easily as we get lost in the average, the incremental, and the least expensive ways of doing things that we hope will somehow move the needle. I actually sat in a meeting recently where a VP of marketing actually asked the team if they could get 70 to 80% of that amazing, innovative idea at a lesser cost by simply having AI generate the content. The answer to that question? Probably yeah. But what a way to ultimately create nothing but more average. I'm afraid this is where I have to paraphrase one of my heroes, one Captain James T. Kirk, who once said,
McCoy is right in pointing out the enormous danger potential in any contact with life and intelligence as fantastically advanced as this. But I must point out that the possibilities, the potential for knowledge and advancement is equally great. Risk is our business. That's what the Starship is all about. That's why we're aboard her.
It's time to break out of be to boring and lean into taking a few risks. It is our business. And that, well, that is a few minutes of what's new in marketing. And remember, it's your story to tell. Beam me up, Scotty, and learn how to tell it well. I'll see you next week.